Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 books that I recommend in 2025. Especially, what is really important, these books are really good for entrepreneurs, for people who are trying to make their own business, or who are people who are just stuck in life, or people that are interested in new technology and the future. So these are the 3 books. The first one, it's the biography of Steve Jobs. I think, yeah, that book that inspired the movie. There's actually also a pretty cool Netflix series or film, I don't know, but there's something on Netflix that you can watch. I didn't watch it, obviously, but I read plenty of the book, and it is an interesting book. And especially like if he's talking about his childhood, what were his like personality traits kind of thing that led him to success with Apple. And also it's just like classic read, and it just gives you a little bit of more perspective on things, and it's just pretty interesting to read. So I would recommend, like, if you're trying to especially start your own business, like, read this biography of Steve Jobs. And even if you don't, it's just interesting. It's just classic read. I always recommend it. Now, next one, this is a bit of a different one. It's not necessarily a biography. It's the Bitcoin Standard. So this book essentially is important for the future, because I personally believe that Bitcoin will have a future. Bitcoin is a decentralized finance system, and I believe that Bitcoin will have a certain future. You know, it's not a super technical book. Like, it does go into some detail, but it's not extremely technical. Like, it's just for a beginner. You can read it. Although I wouldn't say beginner, but like, you can read it. It's pretty easy to read. And as you can see here in the book, you know, he's showing you a lot of statistics. And he goes over basically different monetary systems. So basically we have your gold, for example. And then back in the days, they were using stones on an island, and that he just explains how money works. Like that, if there's more money supply, then the money that you have will be less worth. And these kinds of concepts, and also like other statistics that he shows, like the gold standard, which was basically that money was pegged to gold. And he just shows like how the unemployment rate in Switzerland, for example, changed after the gold standard. And he just goes over interesting facts, economically speaking. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, this makes maybe sense, because you do need to receive your payments. And maybe after this book, you accept Bitcoin. And it's just a nice book to read, honestly. And yeah, it's cool. So another book, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's a nice book. So he goes over how monetary systems work, goes over gold, and just long history. And after that, he actually talks also about Bitcoin. This channel is not about politics right now. So this one is Elon Musk. So I think that we're not talking about politics, but we're talking about business, all right? So for business, I believe that this book is great, because essentially what Musk did, he made PayPal, he made Tesla, and he made SpaceX. And undoubtedly, PayPal is it's a payment system that's been used by many, and it later got bought up by eBay, basically. So he is quite relevant, and especially if you're trying to build a startup, you can really learn a lot from his hardworking skills. Although everything you like, you have to see critically as well. But I think overall, it's nice. You can learn a lot of hardworking skills, and also you can like really learn about risk taking. Like there was a time of, I don't want to spoil too much again, but there was like a time in like 2008 or something, I'm not sure. But there was a time where like his companies were not doing so well, and yeah, it was just kind of tough, you know. And you just go through this whole story, like in South Africa where he grew up and all these kinds of things. And it's just quite interesting. It's quite interesting. You get to know his personality. And I believe that from these books, like, you don't have to copy everything. You are an individual yourself, especially with biographies. Like, you can just take out the best thing of both of these biographies and just take them. You don't need to necessarily have every character trait of entrepreneurs, but just pick the good ones, right? But I believe this is super interesting. I do truly believe. Now, if you find these books helpful, and if you have any other recommendations, leave a comment below, and make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we hit the 1,000 subscribers days. Bye bye.